Hello, thanks for joining me today. My name is Harry Bonetto and I'm head of sales for PropHero Australia. Today I'm taking you through a client success story and I'll show you an investment property that we purchased for a client in Adelaide at a price point of $595,000. That's what it was purchased for back in June 2022. And the March 2023 valuation is now $630,000, which is a very strong performance considering there's been 10 interest rate rises in that period of time. Just a little bit about the client brief. Mehdi, he came to us in April 2022 and he's a seasoned property investor with 5 in his portfolio already. He had a maximum budget of $600,000, so we secured it at just under that price. And he took a preference for buying in an affluent neighbourhood. We secured in an area where there's beaches and increasing affluence and gentrification. He's got an investment objective for high long-term capital growth, which will be supported by a solid rental yield with a minimum of 4%. Needed a property that is in excellent condition so it could rent for a premium. So about the property itself, it's a house with 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms and 1 car space. And if you just see the images of the property, you can tell it's in excellent condition. Before going unconditional on the property, of course, we go and organise the pest and building inspection for the client. But in terms of the numbers, how they stacked up, so $595 with a rental of $510 per week with an existing tenant, which is always a nice peace of mind for an investor. Stacks up at a rental yield of 4.4%. The location is improving day by day and is in a tightly held area with a 3-minute walk to an iconic Adelaide beach. So looking at South Adelaide, these are some of the key characteristics that we look for from a data point of view so that we can try and secure long-term capital growth for the client. So long-term capital growth and relatively high rental yield are really strong. So in a market where rental yield is more and more important for clients, with rates going higher and cash flow positive properties becoming scarce, it's good to have that higher rental yield to support the long-term growth in these more challenging times. It's got a very strong gentrification score, whereby there's growing incomes in the area higher than the state average of South Australia. Supply and demand numbers stack up and there's a very low vacancy rate. And in terms of macroeconomics, there's a strong level of population growth and growing industries, growing infrastructure spend, and other characteristics that are really important to the regional macroeconomics of an area. We want to eliminate climate risk as much as possible, and that can come in the form of climate change, whether it's related to droughts, floods, and also bushfire risk. We want to eliminate that. So looking at the numbers more closely, so Mehdi can track the performance of his property that he purchased through PropHero on the PropHero app. So if you have a look at the cash flow position, firstly, it's at time of recording, March 2023, it's now on a $25 per month cash flow positive situation, which we'll call cash flow negative. So it's paying for itself, which is an excellent position to be in. Based on the current bank valuation, the property's appreciated $35,000, which is a very strong return in this period of time. So the due diligence checks that I've touched on briefly, we get data before we recommend an address, and what we're finding is that the quality properties that we are trying to get from off-market and on-market sources are getting snapped up pretty quickly. So if we can make a move on a property that we think is outstanding, whether it's a freestanding brick home or a townhouse, for instance. This one, of course, was a freestanding home. We want to eliminate all these factors so that we can empower the client to make a very strong decision in a short period of time. This is confirmed by pest and building inspection and also an independent inspection that's done on behalf of the client before we go unconditional. And so the feedback that we received from Mehdi is that he would recommend our services, and he really enjoyed the fact that it's a very intuitive platform, but also a very strong team to support him through that journey from start to finish. So assessing what his strategy is, what his budget is, and and take him to that point in time where he can confidently place an offer at the price that we recommend, and we can negotiate the property on his behalf. Also, we can connect him with the property managers so that the property is managed and tenanted and rented out without any issues. Anyway, thanks for joining me today, and thanks for the great feedback, Mehdi.